Hello everyone and welcome to the Star Fox Assault playthrough, and this is also the final game in the Star Fox Marathon, which is kind of no longer Star Fox Summer because it's now September when this has come out. Now, this is Star Fox Assault, and I'd say easily one of the most underrated Nintendo games ever made. It's kind of, it's basically the game that the fans wanted after Star Fox Adventures. It goes back to a style similar to the classic, Star Fox 64, but it has some added gameplay elements to kind of shake it up a bit. And you'll notice in this cutscene there's definitely a kind of an added kind of focus on a kind of cinematicness, I guess. I know that's not a word. And presentation. This is actually I know Super Mario Galaxy boasts like a full orchestral soundtrack, but this is actually one of the first games that I know of to actually do it as well. Like every single song in this game is orchestrated. You'll hear it here. This is very Star Wars-esque. I guess that was kind of one of the influences on the story. And it's kind of one of the most low-key Nintendo releases. Like, it was made by Namco, so like not many people were aware of it coming out. It didn't sell very well, and it kind of got mixed reviews. I love this game though. I think it's like I said, really underrated, and I think the story is one of the most underrated elements. This is our new Star Fox team. As you can see, Crystal is now a member of it. Peppy's still here, but he's kind of been relegated to a more of a overseer of the missions, as it were. Yep, and to kind of like tell players that we're back to doing the same gameplay style, we're actually chasing Andrew from Star Fox 64. Since Star Fox 64, he's actually been kicked out of Star Wolf and is now leading the remnants of Andros's forces.
Looks like we're not too late. Yep, of course, General.
Now, I said the presentation's really nice, but the voice acting is quite divisive, I'd say. I enjoy most of the performances in this. The actors know exactly what they're doing, and it's basically a cheese fest. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Now, the models do look really stiff here. Like, this is very 2005. All of the actors were recast for this. I don't think there's any voice actor from the previous games that reappeared. So I need to call him Star Fox and Fox, I think, is Jim Walker voicing him. He is also the voice of Fox in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And I actually think he's the best voice actor for Fox. I think he just got the character and was able to kind of give him the qualities that we enjoy as fans. He sadly is no longer Fox. It's now the original voice actor from 64, which I am disappointed with. All of these voice actors reappeared for Brawl in the not the codec, the conversations you can have with them in the Corneria stage. I think that, like I said, I think this is the best cast of any Star Fox game.
So be careful out there.
Most of the, I mentioned the music, I'll mention it again. Most of the, as you can probably hear, this is a remix of the Star Fox theme. Most of the songs in this are just remixes from 64, and they're great, but I also love the original pieces that are in this game. We're going to hear an original piece in a second after we launch. Yeah, everything's been redesigned. The R-Wings look chunkier, the Great Fox has been redesigned, the whole crew has been redesigned to look more militant, I guess, which is kind of awesome. It's just kind of all from that money from Rescuing Dinosaur Planet. It feels like a much more grown-up Star Fox, I guess.
All ships, avoid the Armada's fire. Aim for Oikone's flagship.
This music is so awesome. This is called Space Battleground. People may recognise it actually from Super Smash Bros. Brawl, because it's one of the music choices for the Star Fox stage. Another one is Breaking Through the Ice, which is the Ficina music, which we'll hear later. I don't know why that one was chosen over the others. I actually think that's one of the weaker tracks. But yeah, this is pretty much the same gameplay from Star Fox 64. It feels a little more stiff, but I think it works in the context of the game, and I think this game's really fun. It's definitely more of an arcade-like experience when compared to Star Fox Adventures. I think that a lot of that has to do with Namco's kind of influence, where the style of games they usually make are very arcade-based anyway. The score system is totally different from Star Fox 64 as well. As you can see, you can actually get combos and stuff, and you see in the top right there, my hit meter is now 146, and it keeps racking up. That is like, I think that's a really nice change, because it makes me feel like I'm actually doing something. I mean, look at all the stuff that's going on here. This isn't exactly a graphically impressive game when compared to something like Star Fox Adventures. I mean, this is, for 2005, this is pretty but like, I think it's just a really, like, they do what they can with what they have, basically, and I think it really works. This is one of the most impressive areas to me. When you get this on a huge TV with speakers, it's like, oh god, it's like you're in a space battleground. It's awesome. I kind of hope when Star Fox Zero comes out, it remembers stuff like this that made, for me anyway, what I think Star Fox Assault is a great game. So like, I just hope they remember stuff like this.
Got something on radar. Dead ahead and coming this way.
Now, a bit of trivia. You may remember in Star Fox 64, Fortuna was the ice planet, and I said it was corrected in this game. That planet you can see in the background there, the one we're going to, is Fortuna, and it's now been changed back to what it originally was. You don't actually see Fortuna in Star Fox 64, so like it kind of wasn't seen as a mistake, but it's been corrected here. Let's go catch some Oikini. Oikini has got one of the most deliciously campy performances in the whole game. There's a laugh he does at the end of this part that I'll be quiet so you can hear it, because it is amazingly campy. Now, I don't really want to give the plot away too much, because this is a kind of a more of a plot-driven game. But I like the fact that the villain we get in this is so different from everything else. I mean, like, we're not fighting ape soldiers, like we're not fighting these guys. You don't ever fight these guys after this one mission. But I like the fact that the way the game's structured, it opens with basically a normal day for Star Fox fighting Andross's forces, and then like by the end of this mission, it's like, okay, this is totally different from what we've had before. I don't really have any specific memories for this. Like, I remember getting it on a demo disc, and I remember seeing a trailer for it, and I was excited. But I don't know. Like, it was such a low key thing that I only saw this in a shop, like for second hand, for like $5, and picked it up, and I loved it when playing it. And I was like, this is great. Why didn't Nintendo put any kind of effort into marketing this? Now, I'm not too sure if this is an original track or a remix, to be honest, for this. It sounds like... I think that's a good indication, because if it is new music and I can't tell, then I think that's a sign that it sounds very Star Foxy. A little part of me just miss the kind of the synth and kind of MIDI tracks that they used for the original games, but like, I think it's a way of getting across the scale of the story in a very natural way, I find. And that was really dumb of me, barrel rolling him right into that rock.
Enemy base located directly ahead. Oikini is there.
This is probably the game I was looking forward to Let's Playing most in terms of all the Star Fox games that I've looked at. Mostly because it's one that I don't think anyone's ever... people don't really seem to Let's Play or look at, and I think it's going to be interesting to see if people will want to play it. I mean, like, it's kind of... I think you're definitely going to notice by the end of this playthrough why it's so divisive, and I'll be pointing out stuff. But, like, I just think it's good fun, like, and definitely very, very underrated. I don't mean to repeat myself, but I want to get across how underrated it is. In a way, it kind of feels to me like the true sequel to Star Fox 64, which is, well, it kind of has to, since it's the last sequel of Star Fox Adventures. I think anything would feel like a true sequel after that. Now, I don't know if I collect it in a minute, but there's the collectibles you can get through. Okay, yeah, I do. These collectibles that you get, these S flags, you can use them to unlock rewards in the multiplayer mode, which I'll get into the multiplayer mode when I actually cover it in a video and later on in the playthrough. But the S flag you may actually recognise as an item from the new Super Smash Bros, which grants you an extra life. It doesn't grant you extra life in this game. It just gives you rewards and that you can get in other, in the multiplayer mode. Which that's such an obscure Easter egg to me, but I think it's kind of a good indication of Namco's kind of influence on the new Smash Brothers. And like the fact they used the Orbital Gate stage, which is one of the latest stages in this game, which, if we're really going to think about it, and if they use all these elements, why wasn't Crystal used as a character? Like, Wolf was taken out. I find that really odd. I don't know where Oikini went, but he's back now. Okay, I'm just going to be quiet so you can hear this amazing voice acting from Oikini.
Oikini, you ignorant ape. What are you up to?
Careful, Fox. You never know what a cornered beast might do.
It's Oikini, Pepe. Jesus.
I must bring an end to our relationship. Die!
Such amazing voice acting.
You can win? Don't make me laugh.
I love the cockiness of that. He's so, like, hell-bent on taking Oikini out. I love that. It's so refreshing after that. The irritating cockiness of Star Fox Adventures.
Watch your mouth. I'll show you.
This is basically the same as the Andros fight, except you don't have to shoot him in the face. You literally just destroy his hands. I love, like, being able to take it out in one cycle. You can do it if you press the A button fast enough. And it's like, I'm going to take this boss out really quickly, but it's surprising how fast his fists can actually move. I don't know if it's just my depth perception, but, like, I mean, it's kind of surprising, and, like, it can be a little bit annoying, because, like, when recording this, I didn't die, but, like, in a different recording session, like, practicing, he kind of swung at me, hit me, and took a wing out, like, instantly. I'm like, Jesus.
Is that all you fools have got? I am the one and only true heir to the great Emperor Andros. The new Emperor, Andrew Oikini. Uncle Andros.
Well, he's dead. A nice throwback to Star Fox 64 there as well. And here's our new enemy of the game.
Doesn't look friendly.
Such strange thought patterns.
No, it can't be.
It's kind of... I find this one of the most unique enemies in any Nintendo game, actually. Like, it's like nothing we've seen before, except maybe in a Metroid game.
There's no time to hesitate.
Especially not in a Star Fox one. Now, we don't actually see Oikini again until Command. I won't be Let's Playing that, so for the purposes of my series of Star Fox videos, he's dead. We will never be seeing him ever again. You're supposed to wait until Slippy tells you basically to shoot these wings. I did not, and when his life bar comes up, he is nearly halfway dead. So I'll start wrapping up on this mission and what I really think about it. I like this opening mission. The Space Battleground music is really suitably epic, very Shadow of the Colossus-like, and I love the opening. I love the way that opening cutscene is so awesome. It's just a very, very effective opening, and it's very fun as well. Yeah, just to kill this thing, just shoot it in the mouth, basically.
You're damaging him.
We'll get more into what these things are next part, so I won't bother to explaining it too much. All I say is I love this opening mission. There's a lot of waiting around in this boss fight though. If I had to criticise it for anything, you literally, like, especially if you got the hyper laser, you're literally just waiting for it to open its mouth. There we go, it's down. In a weird glitch there, he was still firing even though I killed it. Mission complete.
Somehow, we beat it.
What do you mean we? I did all the work, Crystal.
Wait, what's that?
It's so satisfying hearing that victory music, especially when it's been redone like that.
You have to get that.
Really? Well, okay.
That was a really odd line reading there for Fox.
Whoa, we got company.
That really wasn't such a big deal. I feel like we could take all of them.
Fox,
Maybe not at
grab
once,
that
but there
thing
are
and get out of
4
there.
expert pilots. And that's the end of the mission. So that was part 1 of the Star Fox Assault playthrough. Let's just check our results, how we did. Gold medal.
That was
Let's see if we can get for the rest of the playthrough. I'll see you all next time for part 2 and mission 2.